What's going on, everybody? I am Switters. Today, a little something different. I didn't even know this was happening today. It's the PlayStation State of Play, and I always live stream it when they're live streaming it, so we can see what's new coming up for PlayStation coming out this year. I think last year we saw, was it the? Why can't I remember the name of it? It was my favorite game from last year, Hogwarts Legacy. So we're going to do that again this year. So no zombie stream today, unfortunately, if you were hoping for that. But not a big deal. We'll just do it again tomorrow. If you weren't around for yesterday, we went into the Dark Aether. We completed Act 4, the two missions, which is basically one, you go into the Dark Aether, and then the second part of that is you come out of the Dark Aether. So you complete the 4 holdouts, and then you beat the boss worm. And we also figured out that turret that is like the game turret, the one that's already there that you can place the circuit boards into, which 2 days ago was just not there. Apparently it has multiple spawns, which I had no idea about. And we figured that out yesterday. So if you're doing it yourself, oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. No, just look around before you actually start the boss fight. And you can find it probably somewhere up on that road. Or you could do what I did yesterday, which was just bring in your own turrets. I brought in 3 sentry turrets, and it worked pretty well. Used the dual-wield WSP swarms on it, and we took it out pretty quick. Eric, what's up, man? Good afternoon to you as well. How is everybody doing? So if you were expecting... So today was supposed to be, by the way, so then you go back in. You have to, do the... It's the only kind of Easter eggy thing that's in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. You get so you have the locked diary from doing that thing that we did yesterday, the Dark Aether stuff. Then you got to get 3 more things to place on the pedestals outside of the Tier 3 zone. We go back into the Dark Aether. And then you have, what, 3 basically objectives that you have to do, I think it is. So anyways, if you were hoping for that today, I apologize, but we'll do that tomorrow. Like I said, I had no idea the state of play was today until I got up earlier and saw on Twitter, it was like from PlayStation, hey, state of play at 2 o'clock. I was like, oh shoot, okay. And again, we've been doing a co-stream of this for the last 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. So I figured I'd just keep that going. And like I said, I think it was last year that we saw Hogwarts Legacy was like one of them. So, and it ended up being, really was my favorite game of last year. Didn't get nominated for any other kind of awards, and it's all because of the whole J.K. Rowling thing. And I got to be honest with you, I don't fully know her views on the whole trans stuff. From what I think I know, I don't agree with her at all, but I wouldn't have taken that out on the people that made the game, but whatever. It was a great game, and I mentioned actually yesterday there's a sale on Xbox for Modern Warfare 3 going on right now. You can get it 30% off. Hogwarts Legacy was a big discount as well. There was a couple of other games that were, just stuff that I've played or liked and thought you guys would be interested in. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check the Xbox store. There is a sale going on right now, so you can check that out. Oh, and I staved off that sneeze, but it's going to come back on me. I'm now my head feels itchy because I didn't sneeze. All right, less than a minute here, and then we are good to go. Well, we'll probably actually get to it, and then they'll start a countdown, and it'll be another couple of minutes. And you guys are going to let me know if the volume and everything is okay. I hate when politics carries over to things besides politics. Yeah, I never talk about stuff on this channel. I try to keep it... even yesterday I was talking about, I don't talk about football very much on the channel just because I know it alienates some people. They're not interested. They're here for the game. They're here for the video game, not the game, not the sports. So I don't even really talk about that stuff. So the politics, and people's personal beliefs, whatever, they're their personal beliefs. I try not to bring any of that stuff into my streams, my videos, or anything like that. On occasion, I have made a couple of videos. Like, I just think this is, you know, the one thing I think is the only one time I actually really went and kind of made a video about it was the Blair Witch game that came out. It's probably 4 or 5 years ago now. And they basically treated people with PTSD as like these monsters. And I just really thought it was a shit fucking message for them. Pardon my language. I'm really trying not to curse on stream because it makes it so they don't promote my videos or in streams, whatever. So I'm trying not to do that, but it really, I didn't realize how much it just clicked as soon as I said it, thought about it again. Like, oh, those mother effers. It was really BS. Kind of pissed me off. I say believe what you want, just be a good human and don't hurt others. I mean, as far as again, it's in a very simplified way. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I don't care what you do, so long as everybody involved is consenting and agrees. I do what you like. Just don't hurt. Yeah, don't hurt other people. Is the volume? Is that too loud on their part? I can lower it. By the way, drop a like on the stream if you are here. Eric, I'll make me remind you again, man. Well, let me know if this is too loud. Lower it just a little. Okay. I dropped it from 65% to 59%. So if that's still too loud, let me know. But yeah, anyway, if you haven't played it, it's an awesome game, and I think I'll talk about Hogwarts Legacy. Sounds good? Okay. They put out, like, made a small announcement. They didn't make it like a big thing, but it was like just on Twitter a couple days ago. I don't even know what studio that is. That something's coming up, so it's going to be available on like every single platform that there is available. It will be out for, you know, whatever it is, and I'm talking like even last gen consoles and all that kind of stuff. And that I think there's going to be some DLC coming fairly soon. I know over the Christmas holiday, they had like a winterized version of Hogwarts and everything, which I didn't get a chance to play, but would have been really cool. So I'm curious as to what I definitely will play the DLC, whatever it is. I don't care. I haven't played it since I beat the game. We got close to 100%ing it. We did like 90-something% of the game. Streamed pretty much all of that as well, so it's on my channel if you're interested and want to see it, but I recommend getting the game and playing it. So let's check this out. Let's see what we got coming up here. I'll try not to talk over trailers too much. Coming soon after launch. All right, Helldivers 2.
Hi everyone, I'm Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, and I'm honored to present the first State of Play of 2024. The first 3 years of PS5 have given us incredible stories, immersive worlds, and groundbreaking gameplay from PlayStation Studios and our partners. We've also expanded PlayStation Plus with new features including PS5 game streaming. And with PSVR 2,
are you guys playing Pal World, by the way, or
which released last November,
at all?
We're committed to offering new and surprising ways for our audience to interact with their PS5. But none of this means anything without great games, like Helldivers 2, which kicks off a year of amazing experiences and diverse ways to play. Today, we're looking ahead to titles coming later this year and beyond, with extended gameplay and announcements we hope you find as exciting as we do.
This is supposed to be about 40 minutes, by the way, from what I
show.
understand, so it's not too long. This whole state of play thing. I watched some streams of it, but I haven't.
Welcome to the world of Stellar Blade. The story begins on post-apocalyptic Earth, where a mysterious enemy called the MWIII has forced the human race to flee to an off-world colony. Players will take control of Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad.
She
Her
also
mission
happens
is
to be
to save the
super.
planet by defeating the Elder MWIII.
All we must do is complete the mission.
While most of the 7th Airborne Squad is lost during their descent from the colony, Eve soon meets 2 new companions. Adam, born on Earth, is
Adam
in
and Eve?
pursuit of an energy source called hypercell.
Make sure to stay cautious. It's where the Alpha Natiba is.
Wow, they're not really hitting the nail
Must be
on,
8 or 7.
on the head there. Just like,
Lily, a member of the 5th Airborne Squad, provides engineering support.
Lily Artemis II. Then I can be your engineering support.
She puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Here, done.
Something does feel different.
so basically,
This
humanity
is
is off the Earth. Earth is ruined,
A
and we have
city
2
built
characters
underneath the
named Adam
wasteland
and
by the
Eve.
last human survivors on Earth.
A whole
Come
city
on.
underneath the wasteland.
Eve is called Angel by the survivors and is an object of both awe and fear.
I'm not selling anything to you.
They'll seem a bit wary at first, but will gradually loosen up as Eve shows a commitment to rebuilding the city.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
I see we have guests.
I can't believe the angel is here.
The survivors will sometimes ask Eve for help.
Please save my younger sister!
Wait right here.
I would have taken the Find the Cat quest.
Their requests will often lead her to the wasteland and the Great Desert. This place has been overrun by Natibas
Oh, get
and
right.
malfunctioning machines and robots.
A supply camp in a place like this.
You'll occasionally find supply stations set up by previous airborne squads. At each camp, Eve can purchase various consumable items, acquire new skills, upgrade equipment, and more. She can also take a well-deserved break to restore her health. Eve will often encounter people in need, and other non-human beings who may need her help.
Request your assistance.
Whether to assist or ignore them is entirely up to the player.
Does
On
this
her
look good to
journey
you guys?
defeat the Elder MWIII, Eve will sometimes encounter hostile survivors. Or
Look at a big
something
hand for a
worse.
head.
Eve, what are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Natiba?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
You mean the extinction of all Natibas, right? To think that the point of your existence is to snuff out another species. It is not an easy fight.
I don't
It's
like the way the
fine.
combat
I can
looks.
do this alone.
It won't be easy.
Angel. That's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find it, and I will make it pay.
Open it. It's windy.
drone is different.
This is no longer the drone you knew.
So close to the goal, headed to light.
This music just making me think like I can't believe all the copyright claims that are going to happen for this stream. It's going to be like 12 months. All the various music, the different trailers that are coming. The story on that actually seems like it's okay, but the combat just is not my type of thing. The way the combat looks, I mean, it's
안녕하세요.
fairly typical.
힙탑의 대표이자
of what's
게임의
going on
디렉터인
these days.
김영태입니다. 이 게임은 우리가 수년간 유저 여러분들께 선보이기 위해 꿈꿔왔던 게임이며 플레이스테이션 5 그리고 플레이스테이션 스튜디오의 전폭적인 지원 덕분에 그 꿈을 현실화할 수 있게 되었습니다. 기나긴 여정이었고 빨리 팬분들이 4월 26일 스텔라 블레이드를 만나보시기를 기대합니다.
Looks like every Sonic game. I haven't played one of these in forever, man. I think like 10 years ago, was it? More than 10 years ago. 12, 13 years ago? I think it was like 2011 because I have a specific memory from it. But something along those kinds of lines. Is that a bear scratching its butt? In development? Okay, so that's going to be 3, 4, 5 years from now. I swear, this stuff that comes out that I'm just like, I don't know who the hell buys it. Like, how much does it cost to make something like this? And I don't know who would ever buy this. Like, who is this for? I'm just not a fan of these anime games. Neither am I, Eric, like, at all. They all look exactly the same to me as well. I mean, I know it's a particular style, like an artwork style that they all kind of are based off of, but it's just more of the same, more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. Every time we do one of these state of plays, it's like 50% of these things. Like I swear, didn't we see this 3 years ago? Didn't we see this last year? Didn't we see this a couple years ago? They all look exactly the same to me, and I don't know. I think they're bigger elsewhere, not in the Western society. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Although I'm sure there's plenty in the U.S., you know, or kind of, you know, the West. To kind of the reason why they keep making stuff like this, but I'm sure it's way bigger in Japan. You know. There it is here. This is Godzilla. Anybody see Godzilla -1? By the way, the movie. I don't know if it's still out, but it got nominated for an Academy Award. Oh, those are two separate things. Okay. I don't know what the hell that was. I mean, like I said, I didn't even know this was happening, this state of play, until today. So I don't know if there's any kind of like big game that's going to get announced. Like big game meaning kind of, you know, overall, like the Hogwarts Legacy, or, you know, or something along those kinds of lines, where it'd be like big for kind of just, in general, it's just big news. You know, I still have Cyberpunk that I haven't played. I kind of really want to play it. I bet you there'll be a big break in Season 2 with Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. Maybe I'll just play that during... there's going to be a gap in there. It might be kind of all of it. Season 2 might end up being pretty boring for us zombies people, so... But who knows? Maybe not.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson. This next game is a result of a very close partnership with Konami and marks the return of a horror franchise that has been with us since the original PlayStation. Let's take a look at what's next for Silent Hill.
Okay, this is popular for most people, Silent Hill.
Maybe I can be like her. Here goes. Is this a dream? Who's there? What's with this place?
Cherry blossoms bloom within the grasp of death. What are you hiding inside?
Maya?
What the fuck? I'm sorry. Stop!
That was creepy.
What did I do to deserve this?
Free to play. It's basically just like a small DLC, I think, probably. Stick around at the end of this, by the way. I think I want to go over the trailer that we got, you know, from Act 4 yesterday, from Modern Warfare 3, and we're going to break it down a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a deep dive on that trailer from yesterday.
コナミが送る現代を舞台にしたサイコロジカルホラーをぜひ体験してください。それでは最後にこちらの映像をご覧ください。
Woodside. What is Woodside? Is that from Scream? The high school? Was that Woodside? Woodsboro. Never mind. Did they ever make a Scream game? I would be interested. Pug, what's up, man? By the way, there is a Scream game that was just announced apparently in October. Oh no! Back in July or June.
Hi, Dad. Say hi back. Of course they know. What if I told you that every word you say is being recorded? Every thought you've ever had. Your love. Your fear. Your hate. We're just planted in your brain like weeds in a garden. What would you do to free yourself? We both know the answer to that question. Nothing. You are the frog in a pot, boiling so slowly. You don't even know what's happening. But I'm here to set you free. Whether you like it or not.
Look like a BioShock game. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, by the way, if you guys are here. I'd greatly appreciate it. It takes 2 seconds to really help me out. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to do a couple of things after this State of Play is over. We're going to break down the trailer from yesterday. And we're going to look at that Scream game trailer. I didn't know about it.
Think of this fire as a beacon. Its warmth, its energy. Now, focus your mind on your wife and step into the
VR?
void.
Do you guys have VR? I don't. Picking up my Vision Pro on Friday. There you go. Any particular games you're going for right away? I have a Quest 2. It's pretty fun. Okay. Metro, best-selling novel Metro 2023. Don't know that game. Book. This is another VR. What games do you have on it, Pug? And Eric, what game are you getting? Like, you must have something in mind, right? Like, if you're going to get it. punching that skeleton. What the hell was that? Okay. Half development. All right. I breathe on the App Store everywhere. I should have just streamed zombies today. People aren't digging this stream, I guess. I breathe will be on it.
I knew you would come, Arisen
There we
One.
go. I have some random ones like Beat Saber, Bone, and Blade, and Sword.
I make no mistake. The dragon will appear before you when the time is come.
You know that there's a few custom zombies from BO3, you know, on the Steam, whatever. I don't know how to get it, but I've watched people stream it before, like Glitching Queen. I know has streamed stuff like that before and made some videos about it. But I don't have, like I said, I don't have a VR headset, so I've never really looked into it. But there's stuff like on Shadows of Evil, you can do the giants. I know there were others as well, but something to look into anyway if you're into, if you have BO3 rather. I know you're into zombies, but obviously, but if you have BO3.
Make manifest your will. That's at last this world might.
Hold fast to your strength of will, Arisen One. Those who can be of aid to you will reveal themselves in time.
That man had a lion's head.
Thy will, thy soul.
Dude, just seeing that dragon just makes me. I really wish the end of Game of Thrones was better.
Thy path anew.
See, like, I've never heard of this. This is a part 2, and I've never heard of this. It's just like I'm wondering, so many of these things, like, how much do they cost to develop, and then how many people are actually playing them? I mean, enough that they made a part 2, but...
皆さんこんにちは。チーム忍者の安田です。ライズ・オブ・ザ・ローニンは自由な探索や幅広い戦闘を
You just hear so much about games getting canceled because it's too expensive. Like, in the last couple of days, we've had stuff like this. It's been in development for 3 years and they just canned it. It's been in development for 6 years and they just canned it. Like the amount of money that must have been spent. The whole thing with Jason Blundell at, you know, his now former studio, Deviation Games. Like they made a deal with PlayStation. They were going to be exclusive to PlayStation, and then they got a certain amount of money developing whatever, something big time fell apart over there, obviously why he decided to leave, but then that deal with PlayStation fell through, but I think it was like $100 million that they were investing in. I mean, I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me on that number, but so this is like Assassin's Creed, but in Japan. It's exactly Assassin's Creed. Okay.
主人公は鍵縄を使って屋根の上に登ったり、装置アビキルを使って高所から滑空し上空を移動することも可能です。攻撃やガードを駆使しながら敵の攻撃を石火で弾いて体勢を崩すことも可能です。敵の武器と相性のいい流派を選ぶと戦いを有利に進めることができます。戦闘では日本刀や長槍以外にも海外からもたらされた短銃などさまざまな武器が使用できます。 発明家である伊賀七と因縁を深めると様々なからくり装置を入手できます。取り火砲は伊賀七が作ったからくりで、現代の火炎放射器のような強力な遠隔武器です。取り火砲や和洋折衷のアクションである中剣など西洋の技術を生かした武器をうまく活用すれば強敵にも打ち勝つことができるので、ぜひマスターしてください。
There's either going to be like one big game at the end here that they're about to announce, or there's really nothing big
幕末を生きる人物たちと紡いだ因縁が物語に大きく影響します。
By the way, do you guys remember? I think there was some kind of news on Jason Blundell going to somewhere else, but I can't remember. It's curious how that Vandahar left Treyarch last summer, and Blundell, you know, is had at the time was without a studio. I mean, they were co-heads of Treyarch at, you know, BO4 during BO4. I would love it so much if he did like a different zombies game, yeah, somewhere else in a new studio. I really wanted to just see what they were gonna do over at Deviation, but I mean, I guess we're gonna never know on that. Did you guys play any Assassin's Creed? The only one I ever played was Odyssey, and I played like I was doing it for my channel before. It was like a full-on zombies channel. I was doing like walkthroughs, and it was a very long game though, and I got however many videos into it, 30-something videos into it. Like it was long, maybe even more. I don't remember, but I was like nowhere near finishing it. It was like. And the views were just going down and down and down. I was like, all right, I gotta move on. I was really enjoying it, though. It was a shame I didn't finish it, because I was having a lot of fun with it. That's the only Assassin's Creed I ever played.
There are a few things I need to make sure you understand.
Going to give you 10 seconds.
No, please, no.
The past is beyond our control. You have to accept this in order to move forward.
It was just a prank, man.
Everything you do, every decision you make from now on will open doors to the future.
The choice is yours.
Stop.
I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this as you play your game.
Or is this going to be like a Dead by Daylight style edition?
Sam. Looking for me?
Oh, okay. I played a few of their games, but I didn't actually play Until Dawn. It looked good, though. But that's got to be 5 or more years old at this point, Until Dawn, right? Is that a mask she's wearing with the hands? Octopus got her. Him. It. Oh, you're dead. You are so dead. Uh-oh. Hello. What?
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam. And to the DHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations.
Seriously?
Come on.
It's
I'll
a
help you get your
Hideo Kojima
bearings.
game.
This is the ship's armory. Here you can check your weapons and put them through their paces. These rooms over here belong
I
to
think
other
we just
members
went
of the crew.
inside.
They're pretty much the same as
Literally
yours.
inside the birth canal.
And the shower's down at the end.
Oh, this is part 2. I knew this was coming.
Courtesy of the UCA, I'm guessing.
No.
That's Norman Reedus.
As I told you, Drawbridge is a civilian outfit. But we do have a generous
Where
patron
he
with
walks
access
forever.
to plenty of capital
What the
and
hell is
tech.
it called?
Sounds like a UCA big shot.
Don't ask me. We've never met face to face. They value their privacy.
Seriously? No better than to believe that bullshit.
Death Stranding. Yes.
It's the same deal as America. The people here are all spread out, cut off from one another. We want you to help us bring the world together.
So this is probably the final one. 'Cause this
Sam,
is
would
like
you
the
mind
big
if
one.
I joined you?
Humor
What was
him.
that?
His knowledge and experience will probably come in handy down the road.
Yes. Really, Sam? Your buttocks?
Your
What about
buttocks?
shotgun? I prefer the driver's seat.
Oh no, you're going to park the whole way there. Please, not next to your buttocks.
Do you read me? You'll first need to access the Mexico side plate gate terminal. After we've confirmed network coverage, we can take the DHV Magellan and regroup at your position.
The problem is, not everybody wants to be part of the UCA.
That's not the plan, Sam. The UCA isn't looking to expand its borders. Just like with Mexico, they want to bring new regions into the network. Anyway, the DHV Magellan's here to back you up. As always, you'll be the one leading the way to expand the network.
What's your role in all this? You're the commander, huh?
That's right. These days I'm fragile in name only. You brought America together. Helped it be reborn as the UCA. But I'm afraid that Death Stranding is far from over. Humanity is still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own. Especially within the UCA.
Great
Bridges
book
no
on the
longer
road. Everybody
oversees the
read that.
distribution
Cormac
network.
McCarthy.
They withdrew once things were up and
Great
running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. So after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside the UCA. We decided to call ourselves Drawbridge.
With the support of the Chiral Network and APAS, humanity will be free from the need to move around. Bots are capable of handling deliveries.
He's alive.
He called himself a ghost, but
We found a way back from the beach just so he could kill us.
he said he came back to get revenge on you and me.
Hey, brother.
Hey, man.
Did you miss me? Yeah, I figured you'd pay this place a visit, seeing as how I've been distributing the fruits of this fine factory all over the continent. Guns and violence, the whole damn world could be yours. Same as it ever was. Oh. Looks like you decided to trade in that rope for a stick this go-round. Well, I suppose even a porter has to pull the trigger from time to time. Oh, what about you? Hey, buddy. Are you just another soulless little husk, huh?
Let go of me!
Oh.
Pathetic guitarist. Where's the rest of your band?
No, Well, ain't that something? Was it you, Heads?
Huh? Was it you that killed Lou?
You still don't know, do you?
Something he said. You don't know a goddamn thing about Lou.
All right, Sam. Let's see what we can find on Lou.
If you want answers, you're gonna have to find them yourself. But the ones you do find, well, that pain you nurse will only get worse. Sam the man in the dark about everything.
Oh, look at the baby.
Don't forget, coming on this expedition was meant to help you find the strength to carry on. And you have. We all know you've got this. Now it's time to finish the journey, Sam. Please understand, Sam.
Is that Leah Seydoux?
We never meant to string you along.
That chrysalis, we found her inside. It was filled with a fluid that contained amino acids. One's identical in structure to the kind found in tar.
I'm sorry, there are amino acids in tar? As in proteins?
Of course. How else did you think that chiral creatures could emerge from it? Some have even theorized that the tar is a sort of primordial soup.
I was there. I saw her home. It was a hellhole.
That looks like one of the Fanning girls.
You see, after you left Bridges, I decided to do a little digging. Now, according to them, BB-28 was flagged for disposal and subsequently incinerated 4 years ago, long before you and Lou first met.
Elle Fanning and Leah Seydoux. Okay, I nailed it. Urgh! Troy Baker, dude, he's done so many video games, man. I think that might...
And now here with me today is visionary game creator and founder of Kojima Productions, Kojima-san. Hi, welcome. Today, I'm excited to announce that together, as part of the PlayStation and Kojima Productions partnership, Hideo is going to take us on an exciting new adventure. One that I've been encouraging him to reinvent for years.
はい、全く新しいオリジナルの IP になります。新世代のアクションエスピオナージゲームです。準備を始めてますけども、デストランディング2の後に本格的に小島プロダクションで制作にかかります。ソニーさんとは、ほぼ30年にわたりエスピオナージものを一緒に育ててきたという強い経験もあります。またソニーさんは、ゲームだけではなく音楽、映画もされています。間違いなく強力なコラボレーションになるはずです。さらに2年後には僕の、ゲーム制作人生の40周年を迎えます。このタイトルが、僕の集大成の作品になると確信をしています。
A new action espionage game by Hideo Kojima. This is one of my favorite genres, one that I've been hoping you would revisit with a bold new vision. Can you share anything else about this new development?
No.
ですね、まだ詳しくは言えませんけども、最先端のテクノロジーと、世界中の才能を集結して作る予定です。もちろんインタラクティブなゲームなんですけども、ルック、物語、テーマ、キャスト、演技、ファッション、サウンド、どれをとっても、同時に映画でもあるようなものです。本作で、映画とゲームの壁を越えたいと思っています。
We're all really excited about this project, and we will fully support you with the latest innovation Sony has to offer. More details to come.
Stay tuned.
I think that's probably going to be it for the state of play. But again, we're going to go over a couple things.
Before we go, I have one final announcement. State of Play will return February 6th with an extensive look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Square Enix will be sharing new gameplay details, along with exciting news you won't want to miss. We hope you enjoyed the show. See you soon!
Okay, so that's it.
PlayStation.
Okay. Hey, I know this guy. So let's go to his channel, and we're going to go over this here in a second. But first, I think this should be.
Thousands.
Uh-oh. What the hell?
Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Mask. In today's episode,
I'm trying to find a trailer for this Scream game. No, that's not what I want. Sorry. New Scream video game would be a prequel to the movies. This is. All right, it doesn't look like there's a trailer for it, so we're not gonna. I guess we're just gonna leave that alone. It was just kind of odd that I just happened to think of that, and then all of a sudden looked it up and was like, "Oh, there actually is a game. It's not out, but it is coming out." So that was the PlayStation State of Play. So that's done. If you were here for that, which not many people were, you can leave now. For my zombies guys, there's something I just want to just go over the cutscene from. The end of Act 4 that we, got through yesterday, and just not do a real deep dive in it, but just kind of point a few things out and go into it a little bit. And I know most people have seen this by now, but I just kind of want to jump right into it, and it does just kind of start right away. So we'll be going and pausing a little bit, but we're just going to go through this now. So again, just to point this out, so at the end of Act 3, the portal opens up in the sky, and Dr. Jansen got kind of lifted up in the air. We also saw her when she pulled the lever on that containment device thing, like electricity coming from her arm to the machine. It wasn't going in the opposite direction. So she's got some kind of power or some kind of connection to the Dark Aether already as is. So something is up with her. She's not completely normal, right? And she's taking these pills because she gets these migraines, but they're not really migraines. There seems to be like a connection to the Dark Aether. Okay, but anyway, when that portal opens up, then we see, let us in. It looks like Samantha. I think it's Samantha. This is the same kind of character here. You can see a little bit more, like clearly, like the hand here. I think this is just a bigger version of what we're seeing here. But anyway, I'm working off the assumption that is Samantha, and we're going to have a little bit more about Sam in just a minute here coming up. Anyway. See, she's taking her pills. Now, this is like a dream. This is happening in her head, at least. I don't know if it's necessarily a dream, but it's happening in her head. This is not real. Okay, so here's something as well. Now, you see these zombies in the back with the orange eyes, and then in the front here with the blue eyes. Now, it used to be, what was it, Richtofen? When Richtofen was in control of the zombies, they had blue eyes. When Samantha, it was the orange eyes, correct? I tend to get that mixed up. I believe that's correct, though. I think it's Richtofen was, the blue-eyed ones, And then when Samantha was in control, it was the orange ones. Now, that's obviously going back to, like, you know, Ultimus and Primus. We are in the... After BO4, of course, we moved on from that. They've been banished. All that stuff has been banished to the Dark Aether. Not dead, just banished to the Dark Aether. Samantha is in at the end of Cold War, flies into the... what the hell is he called? You know, the Elder God there, and whatever, and goes into the Dark Aether, and that's... Maybe she's still there. I don't know. So does it mean something that, like, these two have different colored eyes? Like, these are, you're going to see in a second, like, one of these is going to look like Weaver, I think it is. There. That's Weaver, obviously, with the eye patch. So were the other ones, was it Dr. Gray and Carver? The other blue-eyed ones? Were they, like... Again, this is happening in her head. This isn't real. So you don't want to draw too many conclusions from this. This is just stuff that's maybe haunting her. But the entity is saying, again, let us in. Same as at the end of Act 3 when we go into the portal. It looks like Samantha. Doesn't necessarily mean it is Samantha. But it looked like it. So we're going to back up here a little bit. And let us in again. Or like the blue-eyed ones, like the captains, they're kind of like in charge. You know what I mean? But again, this is happening in her head. This is not real. So you don't want to take it too literally. Okay. And now the first time I saw this was like one of the first things I noticed right off the bat, and somebody pointed it out. I posted this last night at midnight. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, listen. You don't watch, just listen. Right there. The sound of a denizen. So, I don't think they're stupid enough to bring denizens back. But if they are lost. And I don't know what to expect for the rest of the year, man.
Drop your weapon! Drop it!
Now this happens, you think, oh my god, she just came out of her dream, she was having psychosis, you know, this thing. But no. Okay, so now obviously she's got the purple in her eyes. She's in kind of like this distant kind of state. She, when we just saw her cut his throat, Ravenov's throat, wasn't real. Again, it was like a dream within a dream. This seems to be in the present, though. This seems to be actual, what we're seeing her here. This is not a dream, her with the blue eye, the purple eyes. We saw Samantha in Cold War exactly like this as well, with the purple eyes, before she had even gone back into the Dark Aether at the end of Forsaken. You remember, I think it happened during when Outbreak, one of the cutscenes there, and then at the end of Mauer der Toten, that cutscene, you see her Not So Fluffy is there, and was it Weaver with her? I think, but she looks up at the camera, and the director, like, you would see him pull away, but she looks up at the camera, the security camera on the wall, and she's got the purple eyes. It's just for a second, and then it cuts to, like, we see the director again, which we would come to know, of course, was Eddie, and so again, she definitely has a connection to the Dark Aether. Has she been there herself? We don't know. I would assume these are questions that will get answers during this year of zombies, because once Black Ops Gulf War comes out, we're going back to the early the first Gulf War was 1991. So, and we were leaving Cold War, so we're just going a few years later. So I'm assuming, and this takes place today, like now. This is happening 2023, 2024. Well, this year. So I don't think they're going to continue that story. I mean, maybe they would. I don't know. Into the next game. 3 years, 4 years from now. I don't know that they would do that, but I would think we're going to get some answers on this stuff this year. But anyway, let's... We'll never be alone again. We'll be one. Combining the Dark Aether and our world.
Driving off?
Ava, they made contact with some kind of entity. They're coming for debrief. Report to ops.
They met... what?
An entity inside the rift.
Okay. They've made contact with an entity. What? They made contact with an entity inside the rift, and then we immediately cut to this. She moves the laptop over, so we're looking directly at it. We're talking to Ravenov. We see that Weaver, Gray, and Carver all deceased. We know that those were the ones around the table. Mark. So is it like? Is she being controlled? I don't know. If she's being controlled, or she's doing the controlling, or she just has a link that she doesn't even is fully aware of. I think I don't think that she's not aware completely, because she's taking these pills, and we know it's not for, like, I think it's supposed to be for, like, migraines or whatever, but we know that's not what it is at this point, right? Like, and especially at the end of Act 3, we saw with the connection with, again, her having the lightning kind of going up her arm, the electricity going up her arm, and then floating up. Like, she wasn't being pulled and dragged toward the portal like everybody else was. She was just gently kind of lifted up. So she has some kind of connection. This could be like Maxis's daughter. Again, Cold War was 30 years ago. As far like the game Cold War. It took place in the 80s compared to now. So 35 years ago? Jesus. So Ava, it's possible that she is Samantha Maxis's daughter. You couldn't rule it out. Are we talking about the dude we killed in BO3? No. What dude that we killed in BO3? I mean, Richtofen? Eddie? I mean, we killed all of our main characters. That's what the whole point of BO3 was. One version of their characters had to go back and kill another version of their characters. But anyway, it's like the Ultimus, the premise had to kill Ultimus, and it's way too convoluted, and I don't fully understand all of it. But anyway, it's just very interesting. It's not very interesting. It seems very obvious that he says, again, we'll go through it one more time. No, the dude with the squid head. Dr. Maxis. I mean, Samantha's dad. Adopted dad. And the Shadow Man, and no, we're not talking about that. So anyway, let's go through this again real quick and just listen to what's happening, and then they show you. So it's like this is kind of, it's like the ending of The Sopranos, where like, is he dead? Is he not dead? Is he dead? It just cut to black. No, it's dead. That was his point of view, and it just all went black, and he talked about it before. So
They met what?
An entity inside the rift. And it cuts right to her. Like, so, and at the end of, this is the end of Act 4. At the end of Act 3, we see inside the rift an entity. We can see it has a female shape. It's female form. It certainly looks like it's Samantha. We can watch it here in a second. But this seems to me to confirm it, or to intentionally kind of throw us off track that it's not her. Now, and again, we can see this is deceased, and then Ravenov is active. Classified Janus, I think I actually pronounce it. Directive 6776D. I don't know what that means. That's ESC, ARC. I don't know what these two mean. Escape or whatever. Like, and you could close out the little picture. So I don't know if these mean anything other than just command, like controls from your keyboard kind of a thing. So again, it's entirely possible that somehow Samantha is Ava's mom, or creator at least, and if not in a literal, Adam and Eve kind of sense, maybe like some kind of other way. But it goes right to her when they say they're talking about this entity in the portal. It goes right to her picture. So there's no reason to think that it would be anything other than that's her in the portal. So now if we go to, where is here? Oh, that's the full. We don't want to do the full one here. Then we're gonna go to the end of Act 3. This is the end cutscene from Act 3. If you haven't done it, spoiler warning, I guess, and spoiler warning for for what we just watched, but it's too late now, so whatever. And by the way, thank you guys for checking out my videos. We just had an MWIII video become my most watched video on my channel, so I'm very happy about that. Augustine, good to see you again, man. I'm good. I managed to finish the Chapter 3 run solo. Awesome. And I got the juice skin I wanted. There you go. Now working towards Chapter 4. Any advice to do it solo? Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. We're just going to watch this. Well, watch me. I played through it yesterday and it went very smoothly. So watch yesterday's stream. It's like the first hour of that stream is just like getting setting up to go into the Dark Aether and do Act 4, and then actually going into the Dark Aether to doing Act 4. So like it's less than an hour, but it's like everything that you need is in that. But yeah, give me 1 second. We're gonna go through this again just to kind of connect it back to what we just saw at the end of Act 4 with their cutscene. So here we go with this. So she runs over, watch. She runs over, the worm is pushing everybody else out of the way. It's gonna shoot at her. See, now look. The electricity is coming from her arm. It's coming from her. It's not the reverse. It's coming from her. That's important. She's not being electrocuted by this thing. She's the one doing, like, has the power in her, and it's letting out through her. It's not coming the other way. Yeah, I think so, Mark. Now you watch, when this rift opens up, right? It's like a black hole. Everybody's getting pulled toward it. They can't help it. Like, this guy, peace to you, man. I mean, vehicles are being pulled, like all the stuff. And then look at her. She just kind of nice and gently, she's being lifted. She's not being yanked up into the thing. She's being just kind of lifted up. So basically, with that too, that was the liquid Ethereum, and what we just did, like, to get to the end of Act 3, and with the device that we just set off was that the thing that she had been working on, the Ethereum containment device. So it basically neutralized all the Ethereum. So at the end of Act 2, I think it was, or Act 1 maybe, it was like, oh, my experiment failed. She's like, no, it worked. It's just, it doesn't work on a grand scale. It wasn't powerful enough to do like everything. It just worked locally. So here we're seeing it actually worked better now as well. So again, she's being nice and gently kind of lifted up to this portal into the Dark Aether. 100% this is the Dark Aether that we're looking at here. And an entity, I think it's Samantha Maxis. And again, what we saw at the end of Act 4 saying, there's an entity, blah, 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 whatever, and then it immediately cuts to Samantha's face on the laptop. Pretty sure it's her. Again, more lightning coming from her, and it sets her down. She doesn't get, like, dropped from 30 feet up. She just gets set down.
What happened?
Do you not remember?
No.
Okay, she had the purple eyes again.
I heard a voice. Something calling from the other side.
Take him to the brig. Green will get the interrogation started. They sign a Zakayev. He may be bloodied, but he's still breathing. Next time he sticks his head up, I'll take it off.
Soap, you're dead, buddy.
Dobbs, what's the shit rep? Give me some good news.
but Dark Aether contacts are repopulating. Also picking up an energy spike in the red zone. Never seen anything like it.
Energy spike in the red. So okay, so that was the neutralizer again. Like, did it take everything out? No, it was working in a kind of a more local area, and there are other portals popping up, like ether stuff happening around the outsides of other places. Like, it didn't finish the job. And then in the red zone, tier 3, we have this big portal that is going to open up, and that's where we get our Act 4 missions to go into the Dark Aether and then kill the worm there, and then exfil from the Dark Aether. And again, this is the tier 2 area. This is by that power station on the north side of the map. And then that was, again, like the... here. No. This is over tier 3. And again, it's what we did yesterday. You guys know about the rift. Like, if you're on the map, you can just kind of look towards the tier 3 area, and you see the big purple kind of like tornado swirling around at the bottom side of tier 3. That's this. And then you go into the Dark Aether, and that's the Act 4 missions, and then blah blah blah. So I'm guessing her power was activate by this time because of this, because of the Dark Aether stuff. It would seem so, but so like we just saw her get the purple eyes. For us, it's the first time seeing it. So did that just happen? Did she just get that kind of connection now? We don't know exactly. I mean, she had the electricity coming from her arm, so she had something within her already. Was she exposed to the Dark Aether in the past that we, again, like happened before this game actually started that we don't know about? Possibly. Did she have something else going on? And then as she floated up this time, it just kind of connected to the Dark Aether? Like, I don't know. That seems a little bit unlikely to me, but it's possible. And again, she may have some kind of direct connection to Samantha. Like, we don't know. Again, this is 30 plus years after Cold War. So again, Samantha could somehow be her mom or creator or something along those kinds of lines. We haven't seen Sam since, but like, why we wouldn't have, because the last game was Cold War, and now we're into this 30 years later, so we wouldn't have seen her anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Like, has Sam been in the Dark Aether this whole time? We don't know. Is that Samantha in the portal? We don't know. It seems it. If you take everything from this Act 3 cutscene and the Act 4 cutscene, again, with how they tell you, hey, there's an entity in the Dark Aether, blah, 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 and then it immediately cuts to Samantha's face on the laptop. Certainly could be. She could be like a sleeper agent for the thing. I mean, it's possible that that's the thing as well. Like, that she is kind of a Manchurian candidate kind of a thing. She's not even aware that she's being controlled by dark forces from the Dark Aether. It could certainly be something along those kinds of lines as well. So, this is all stuff that I hope we're going to get more of this year. I hope this is going to be like, by the end of Modern Warfare 3, I hope we have the full story that they wanted to tell for this year. It doesn't have to be like a gigantic big conclusion, like, and we'll never talk about it again. I'm just saying, like, I hope we get some answers to the stuff that they're setting these questions up for. Is that Samantha in the portal? What's going on with Ava? How did she get these powers? What are her powers? What is her connection? I hope we get answers and stuff like that by the end of this year. I hope they don't drag it out to, like, because you can always add to that story, right? Like in this, let's call it the sequel to this. You can always just add more onto that. You don't have to. Not everything has to end on giant cliffhangers with no resolution. So think of it more of like a trilogy of a film series rather than a TV show where it's just like, I don't know, we're going to do like 8 seasons of this so long as they keep paying us and we keep getting ratings. Whereas at the end of each film, it's kind of like you usually get some conclusions, like a full wrap-up of a story with more places to go at the end rather than it just being completely open-ended like a Lost or something like that. Sam seems like the biggest clue because of just seeing her face again. I mean, if it's not Sam, it's kind of like a really It would be it's kind of like a show that I've been watching lately, and I actually quite enjoy. But like Only Murders in the Building. This is Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short. It's a mystery whodunit. It's a solve it kind of a thing, right? And I don't want to give anything away, and I'll try not to, but it's like let's just say in general, when there is a murder mystery, whether you're reading an Agatha Christie novel or a movie like Clue based off of the game, which I love, by the way. Watch Clue; it's great. But there should be clues, not to no pun intended, but there should be clues so that you can figure out who the killer is, or like Scream, like we were talking about Scream. You can figure out, even if you can't notice it the first time around, that you go back now that you know the ending and go, oh, like there are little clues along the way that you would be able to figure it out. If they're saying that that's not Samantha now, it would just be like a completely pulling the rug out from under you. They're laying the clues. It's quite obvious. So it's kind of why I'm actually thinking it's not going to end up being Samantha, because it's too obvious now. I mean, at the end of Act 3, it was already like, when I made this, I was like, oh, that's Sam. 100% that's Sam. Like, as soon as we watched it, I was like, that's Samantha, right, guys? Like, has to be. And it definitely didn't have to be. But then with Act 4, and again, we just went over it, so we won't go over it again, but how they set it up and what they're talking about, the entity in the portal from the Dark Aether, and then they immediately cut to Samantha's face and her picture. Like, it has to be Sam, right? So if they make it somebody that's not Sam, it's just going to be a complete out of left field. You couldn't have seen it coming. They were just jerking us around, which they could do, but I just hope they don't, because it's just cheap when you do that. Sure, lost ending. I don't know what's happening here. You just showed up, Mitchell. I was just going over like a little bit of a breakdown of the Act 4 cutscene. We just went through that we got yesterday, and now we went back to Act 3 and cutscene to kind of connect a couple of the pieces. Is all I'm really doing here. Augustine, if you're still here, yeah, the only thing you really need, again, congratulations on getting Act 3 done solo. It's definitely, it's certainly doable. That was what we just watched as the cutscene there. So happy that you got that done. But if you're still here, like, all you really need for what I brought in again yesterday for the Act 4 stuff was, you saw my weapons. I used the dual wield WSP swarms. We're very good. Triple papped, legendary ether tool, obviously, and then use gas grenades. And I use Semtex. You can use whatever you want, I guess, like thermites, whatever are popular. So have at least two, but probably at least 3 self revives, and you want to have like 3 sentry turret score streaks, and then everything else is armor. Everything else armor. Then you do the 4 holdouts. They're really not that hard to do, the Outlast kind of stations. Those are really surprisingly pretty easy. And then with your sentry guns, when you head down to the beach, you can place them on the beach. Just kind of place them triangularly. I don't think it really matters necessarily, but if you place, so if the worm comes up here, you can place one like here, and here, just so it's always hitting. So the worm will never be too far away. If you put them all on, like the worm's here, and you put them all over here, well, if the worm moves over here, it might be too far. So this way you hitting. And then just kind of go ham on the thing with your guns, and you should be fine. You throw your gas grenades, and there is a weapons pile down there. You can constantly refill your ammo and your gas grenades, and just keep throwing your gas grenades. Probably use the thermites, which I didn't even think to do. So bring thermites in. I think it's probably a good way to go. Right now I'm trying to do stuff for Act 1. Oh, you got a ways to go. I have some guides on things in there, like I think the more difficult stuff from Act 1 and Act 2 and Act 3. So if you run into an issue I marked, go ahead and check my channel. There should be some kind of guide on, the more difficult ones. Again, the other stuff that's fairly self-explanatory, I didn't bother with, because it's fairly self-explanatory and nobody's going to bother watching stuff like that. I will say going forward, though, maybe with Season 2 it'll happen, which again comes out February 7th. So what's that, next Thursday? Something like that. I'm going to be putting out, like, if they give us, like, Season 2, Act 5, right, and it's 10 missions to do, I'm going to try to make guides for each individual mission. That way, it's just there on my channel, and if anybody has any kind of an issue, again, there's going to be ones, obviously, that are going to be very self-explanatory, and you probably wouldn't need a guide for, but I'm going to try to make a guide for every single mission going forward. As they come up with whatever new season, whatever new missions we get, I'm going to try to make a guide for every single one of them. Again, some of them it's going to be like, yeah, okay, that totally makes sense. Like the whole one with getting the cipher tablet, just because of it's been glitchy and it's not particularly clear. That's the one. That's the video that's like now the #1 watch video on my channel. I mean, full length video, not shorts. Shorts don't count. I have one of shorts that's well over 5 million now. But yeah, like there's other stuff that's going to be super self-explanatory. Like you just kill 10 mercenaries or whatever. Like it's not going to be difficult, but whatever. I'm going to make videos on it just so it's there. If anybody has an issue, whatever, there will be a, this is exactly how to do it. This is, this is what the deal is. So going forward, that's how it's going to be. Anyway, I think that's it. I didn't really see anything in the PlayStation State of Play that really bring Deadbolt circuit board just in case. Well, the thing with doing that is, again, it's like you can either bring in the multiple circuit boards for the turret that you can find, which apparently we figured out yesterday has multiple spawn points on that road above the beach, or you can take up those 3 slots or 3 or 4 slots, whatever you would use for circuit boards, and just bring in your own sentry turrets. To me, that's kind of the way to go, to bring your own, because you know where you can put your sentry turret down, and you don't know where that thing is going to spawn. So I would do that. Tier 3 rover mission would suck. Tier 3 rover mission? In the Dark Aether rover mission? The Tier 4 one? That's why you bring the VR11, but that's after you do the boss. That's what we were going to do today, but again, I didn't realize the PlayStation State of Play thing was on today. And I don't stream all of them. They do more than, like, it's not one a year. They do multiple ones per year, but I had no idea that was going to be going on today, so I was like, oh, shoot, we'll do that. You never know. Because, again, sometimes there's really good games coming out. But today, like, I guess the biggest one, obviously, was, like, Death Stranding 2, which doesn't come out for more than a year. So, I don't think there was anything else, really, in the State of Play that I even thought was even kind of interesting, to be honest with you. Most of it was just kind of like, I don't know who buys this shit. I don't know who, like, how is this a part 2? I've never heard of part 1. Like, and it doesn't look like a cheap game, but again, we're getting a trailer. It's not like, they can make it used to be, and I think they actually got sued, like game companies or whatever, because they made the trailers look like real movies. It was like, that's when it had to be put in, like, this is actual gameplay or this is not gameplay. This is like, cutscenes don't count. For gameplay, you can't call it a gameplay trailer. I don't know if you guys remember when all that stuff happened, but it was because it looked amazing. Then you would get the game and it was just like, no, this is shitty. What are you talking about? The game doesn't look like this when you play it. Those are the cutscenes. Well, anyway, I would love to see Sam to like actually have a massive role and get to see her more. I'd be fine with that. I mean, I don't know, massive, whatever. I mean, I get what you're saying. I definitely wouldn't mind her being in this at all. Like, I don't like to do this because I don't like to spoil things for me, but what's her name? Oops. Okay, I'm looking something up here. I'm gonna tell you. Well, maybe I won't tell you. Oh, she's in Starfield as well. Okay. It's not listed. Okay, I was looking up the woman who plays the Samantha Maxis voice. She does the voice for Samantha Maxis. And on IMDb, she is not... Modern Warfare 3 is not listed. I'll put it that way. It doesn't mean that Samantha, won't be in this game. It doesn't mean that if she is in this game that actress, Julie Nathanson, didn't voice her. It just could not be listed yet. So... But if she had been listed, it would have been like, oh, for sure, she's in it. And that kind of, those are spoiler type things. Like, I'm the type of person, like, you can give me a description like, oh, it's by this director and this actor is in it and this actor and it's about this. I don't even want to see a trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see that. I'm not even gonna watch the trailer. I don't want to know anything about it. So that's why I was kind of like, I don't want to like check. I don't want to look that up because if it did show her being in this, it'd have been like, well, that's spoiled for us. Now we 100% know that Samantha is going to be in it, but we don't know. Cough, Killzone 2, 3, cough. I don't know what that means. Is that a game, Killzone? When we played Gulf War, Sam is saved, and Gray or someone in Gulf War sacrificed himself, who we are currently seeing. Well, at the end of Cold War, we see Sam fly into the stomach of the Forsaken and goes into the Dark Aether. And then we see all of our crew, Carver, Weaver. Well, yeah, Weaver, us, Gray, all getting arrested. Jesus, excuse me. And then... at the very, very end, we see Peck, of course, point to that spot in the Pacific Ocean, which is where about Zetsubo no Shima, Group 9, took place. And in the description of Zets, it's obviously a testing site, like a lab testing site, but I believe it was also in some way labeled as a prison. So it's possible we're going there. But then at the beginning, the very, 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 very beginning of Cold War, like not Cold War, Modern Warfare 3. Where is it? Where's the first trailer? Here? Is this the one? No, this is not the one I'm talking about.
Nothing gets in, and nothing, I say again.
Where's the cinematic? Because we see them around the table. I mean, we know it's Weaver for sure, but it's safe to assume. Oh, here it is. It's safe to assume, I think, that these other people are around. Here. Because that's Weaver, 100%. Killzone use computer generator. Gameplay. Oh, you're talking about, for when they had to go back to, like, they had to specifically state this is actual gameplay or this is like a cinematic. Because that was some serious BS stuff back in the day. So that's Weaver. And, like, that could be Gray right there. Like, this could be Carver or, this could be our crew from Cold War. We don't know.
They're actually real.
I mean, we know that that's we don't. I guess we don't know, but we know that that's Weaver.
Let's go.
Who the hell else has an eye patch like that, hair like that? Is the same. So anyway, When we pick up our CMC by great. Oh, yeah, maybe, Mitchell. I don't know that. I mean, possibly. And you got to remember too, when you're in the Dark Aether, the time I don't remember if it was like 10 to 1 the time. Like one day is actually here is like 10 days there, something along those kinds of lines, or I don't remember what it was, something along those kinds of lines. But now you remember too at Firebase Z, like she had been Peck put her in the Dark Aether, and that's where we're there just to get her out of the Dark Aether. And you know, she goes into talk about when you had to find the radios and the messages and all that kind of stuff. This is all things you had to listen to, kind of outside of the actual gameplay, like story that you would get with outside of that. It's all intel stuff that you would collect. You know, the time for her was like she had been there for, like I think our time she'd been there for like 2 weeks or something, and then for her it was like 3 years or something along those kinds of lines, something like that. So by the time the game Gulf War rolls around, if she had been in there since Cold War, we're talking years, our time years. So for her, it would have been decades, you know, like, and then also remember Zykov, right? That was the soldier that went in. And we're going all the way back to D Machina now. He's the guy at the beginning, like they're pinning a medal on his chest, and he gives him like the thumbs up, and he's the one that goes into the particle accelerator down into, you know, D Machina through that tunnel there, and then they seal it behind him, and he's the one that, you know, he gets sucked up into it, and he ends up being the, you know, the Forsaken at the end of that map, Forsaken. He becomes the god because he spends so much time there. He figures things out. He learns things. I mean, Sam, and then he's going in with no powers. Sam's going in there with powers. She could be there for years/decades. Like, Sam might be, yeah, so it's like a 10 to 1, Mitchell. So Sam could become like extraordinarily powerful, but I mean, I don't think they would want to do that as having her be one of our characters, being that she's that powerful, unless she was corrupted, which makes sense. But then you would kind of be doing the exact same story that they did in Cold War. Just taking it from like having it being Zykov to being now Samantha. Wouldn't be awesome to do the exact same story basically again to me? Oh no. I dropped my chapstick. But anyway, so that's that. Yeah, I guess that's it. So again, we were going to do the rest of the Dark Aether stuff where you get the schematics for the blade and for the armor and all that kind of stuff. But again, I decided to do the state of play thing because I didn't know if there was I just wasn't aware of it being today, and I didn't know if there was going to be a big game that was going to like be announced and like, oh, that'll be cool. Let's check it out. And it turns out it was kind of a whole bunch of nothing. Death Stranding 2 comes out next year. I guess it did well enough. I mean, it seemed like a really expensive game to make, so I guess it did well enough to warrant a part 2, obviously. But it's one of those things that had like a bunch of hype, and then when it came out, it seemed to go away fairly quickly. So, I don't know. But, so if you're excited about that, great, you're excited about that. And then that's pretty much it, like I said. So we'll be back. We'll do that stuff where we're going to do today, the rest of the Dark Aether stuff in MWIII. We will try to get through tomorrow. Don't know that we will, by the way, because it is fairly, like solo, it's still pretty difficult. So we'll give it a shot. Hopefully we'll do it. And it should be fun to try in one way or another anyway. So that's it. You guys have a great day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.